All right, what's up, guys? I want to do this video on this topic of unplugged women. About 10% of my audience that watches my channel is female, and I always get guys asking me about where to find, these higher quality women that are unplugged or, RP'd or whatever. So I want to read this email that I got from one of my female viewers and kind of like talk about that a little bit. She says, hey, Rich, in February, I separated from my husband who I'd been with since the age of 14. We have 3 kids together, and I've always been the breadwinner. He works, she puts this in brackets, he works, but I make significantly more, which is not a problem, IMO, in my opinion. Truthfully, it is a problem. She's lying to herself. I'll talk a little bit more about that when I finish reading this. And we share finances. I manage them per his request. My husband has always been a beta with severe depression, refuses therapy or help, has no goals in life other than work, spends most of his time on the couch talking about how awful life is. After spending almost 20 years as his support person, I just couldn't sit by as he self-loathed and complained all day anymore. I asked him to work on himself and find happiness, and when he refused, I asked him for a separation with plans for divorce. I recommended 50-50 custody. He wants them less than that, and I want no child support, as I feel like I can support the kids and his money would be better served when he has the kids. After 6 months of separation, I decided to casually date and met up with someone I previously knew in high school. We were FWBs, and after he was constantly referencing your book, I asked to read it. Interesting how female viewers come across my material. If you haven't read my book, by the way, it's the Unplugged Alpha. If you're new to the channel, it's pinned in the top comment. It's a quick, short read. It's available on Amazon, print, Kindle, and Audible. Please, if you've read it, leave a 5-star review letting other guys know what value you got from consuming it. I have to say that even as a woman, I'm blown away. The red flags, although tough to hear, are true. The female motivation and hypergamy are spot on, although I didn't realize it until recently. I've been watching your YouTube channel and following you on social media, discussing your information with others, etc. I've realized the importance of understanding human nature and relationships, and seeing that understanding is so vital to happiness. I know I want a successful relationship where each partner is at the top of their game and contributing to the other's life. I'm using this book to improve myself to be the best woman I can be, which makes me more marketable to high-quality men. I know that I want an alpha male. Who doesn't, right? All women are competing for the top, 10-20% of men. Someone who has goals and who is trying to be their best selves. I've always been the dominant one, and I'm tired of it. Sounds familiar? I've been talking about this for a while, right? Women don't want to lead. They want to be with a leader. I want an alpha man to take control and be in charge, and to be a part of his frame. So the language that she's using indicates that, she understands this and that it makes sense to her, to some degree anyway. After 3 months, my male friend and I are no longer seeing each other. I'm assuming this is the FWB. He thought I was seeing other guys. I was not. He didn't want to proceed until I knew that what I wanted in life. No bad blood or drama at all. I'm currently working on straightening out my red flags in therapy. I just want to point this out. Notice how when she got divorced, she went straight for, what does she call him, a high school sweetheart or a friend from high school? Casually today, when it was someone I knew in high school. From the age of 14, she's been married to this guy for 20 years. So that puts her at 34. So even in high school, she was still, dealing with other guys. And, one of the things I've always said is that women move very, very quickly from, dude to dude, especially out of relationships. I'm not sure that I believe that after 6 months of separation, she decided to casually date. Maybe, but if I was a betting man, which I am, I'd probably bet the farm on saying it happened a lot quicker than 6 months. Anyway, I just see the code in the matrix, that's just me. Didn't want to proceed, blah, blah, blah. No bad blood or drama. I'm currently working on straightening out my red flags. So she's got red flags that she recognizes from that chapter in my book. In therapy, by the way, if you don't want to pay for the book, you can get the red flag chapter for free. All you got to do is get on my email list. Again, that's pinned in the top comment. No bad blood or drama, working red flags. In therapy, finalizing divorce, working on my fitness, and deciding exactly what I want in life. And not seeing anyone because I'm not interested in raising my notch count unless it's for someone that brings value to my life. Okay, I'm just going to call that respectable. Fine, cool. I just want to say thank you from a female viewer who's not an angry fly on the wall, but someone who sees value in your information. P.S. I also bought your book for my ex. He did not appreciate it as much as I did. All right. Okay, guys. So, there's two angles from this which I'm going to hit. The first is there's a lot of guys that are looking for you know, women that are red pilled or unplugged or awakened and all that sort of thing, and I don't think that that's the way to go about stuff like this. The guy that had been talking about my stuff to her, the FWB, the guy after the marriage, that's a no-no, by the way. You don't want to try to, you know, red pill women. You don't want to try to unplug women. They don't care. They just want guys to get it. You know, Rollo said this for a long time, and I'm echoing it because I believe it's very, very true. Women just want a guy that gets it, okay? Like this woman from the get-go is essentially saying that she wants an alpha male now. She's tired of being with a beta who was depressed and bummed out in life and had no ambition and goals, and she was a breadwinner. And what, like, you have to separate what women say and do. And I'm talking to the guys and gals on this one, by the way, but you've really got to set them apart. She left the marriage, right? And she's saying it didn't really bother her that she was a breadwinner, or that she was taking care of the bills, that she was a leader, that he was bummed out all the time. You know, she just basically, you know, suggesting that. But in the next breath, she's also saying, well, I left the marriage because it sucked, and he didn't do anything for me, and he was a beta, and all of those things, you know, that turned her off about him were contributing. And it's not probably like one thing only, but it's like a pileup of all of those things that just like, okay, one thing after the other just led her to the point where she's like, this guy's a beta. Now, she didn't come across my material until after she got separated from this guy, because she said that the material came from her FWB who had recommended it. Fine, but she's acting out in such a way that all women typically act out if they're not, you know, feeling like they're being taken care of in the relationship and getting what they want, which is, you know, supposed to make them happy, you know. All women, given the opportunity, if they're in an LTR or a marriage with a guy that doesn't blow her hair back and she can't look at him every day like he's the best possible gig that she can get, you know, the whole notion of hypergamy really is just, is this guy the best that I can do? At some point, all women at some point are gonna evaluate their relationship with their husband, with their boyfriend, with their live-in LTR, whatever it may be, and ask themselves the question, is this guy the best that I can do? And if they decide that he's not and they can do better, hey, maybe Kevin from high school is chatting her up on Facebook a little bit as she's kind of weighing out some options. Right? Let's hook up with Kevin after we get separated, during separation, 6 months after separation. Who cares? But that is typically the route that, you know, occurs. Those of you that have read my book, you know, this woman included, would recognize that 50% of women in a LTR or marriage have a backup plan. They have a replacement lined up if their LTR/marriage doesn't work out. Fact. All women think that they can do better. That's why they leave. Like, you don't leave a relationship, you don't leave security, because women are more interested in playing not to lose than they are playing to win. Men more or less are the, you know, let's play to win sort of group. So the thing that you got to understand about that is they look around and this guy's not the greatest. I could probably buy a nicer house with another guy that's got his shit together, that's more of an alpha male, blah blah blah. Let's pull the plug on this, untie the knot, and move on. Might work great for her, but for the most part, from what I've seen from my experience with my coaching, and I do a lot of high net worth individuals, women come my way from time to time. I've dealt with straight women, lesbian women, all across the board. I've done this so much now, it's just like clockwork. I just like, okay, I start asking questions to get clarity, and it all aligns up the same way. For the most part, they don't find what they're looking for. They really don't get that, you know, there's no silver lining, you know, it's like, oh, you know, there's this like odyssey world that they find after the divorce that's way better than what they had. They just get rid of the guy, you know? And again, that might work well for them. Not always the greatest position for the kids. The best thing for kids is always to be raised in a two-parent household. But, you know, plugs get pulled, you know, if what I'm saying. So that's just some feedback and reflection on that letter, or that email, sorry. It's fine, you know, there's probably worse things that could happen. I mean, the guy could have been divorce raped. She could have insisted on having custody most of the time, but she did what a reasonable person, or what a reasonable parent would do, that would put their kids first, which is try to share custody. Some guys are losers. You know, there's some guys that'll just be like, I'm just depressed and bummed out. I don't want the kids that much. I want you to take care of them. And he got off pretty easy. He's not paying support. He's not, you know, tied up, or it doesn't sound like she's an unreasonable ex-wife, you know, for the most part. So that's more of a anomaly. It doesn't happen that often. For the most part, guys are kind of getting crushed, but it is what it is. You know, you have to kind of like take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, that being said, guys, I'm gonna speak to guys. Don't go looking to unplug women. Don't go looking for unplugged women. All they want from a guy is a guy that gets it. She just wants to know that you get it, that you're a leader, and that's, you know, that's who you are, and build on that. Don't hand her my book. Don't say, by the way, you know, watch these videos or any of those things. Most, you know, for the most part, they don't want to understand it. They just want to know that you've got it together. They just want a guy that gets it again. Now, you know, for the part with women that are leaving marriages and stuff like that, and that are insisting on, well, I want to find an alpha male. I just want to find an alpha male. Wow, the skies look like it's about to open up any time now. Okay, here's the thing about this, ladies. You're probably not going to get them. I'll be honest with you. The guys in your age bracket, like you're 34, you're 40, you're 44, whatever, you're looking for the successful guy that's a leader, that makes bank, knows how to put a dent in the universe, tall, strong, and masculine. You can look up to him. You know, men want to be him, women want to be with him, blah, 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 all that stuff. Like, you know, the narratives that I'm talking about. The problem with that is your dating pool gets very limited because now you're a successful person, right? Like, you're an income earner. I don't know what her income is. Let's just assume it's like $100,000 to $250,000 a year. She's a strong income earner. That means that she's only going to date guys that make that kind of money or more. Okay, she's not going to want to be with a guy that makes $80,000 a year with a job that might smell and look and walk like her ex-husband. She wants better. She thinks that she deserves better, with 3 kids in tow, divorced, and, you know, older. Problem is again, you limit your dating pool because there's less guys in that category. And then the second part of that, which gets even worse for ladies, is most of these guys that are alpha males, the top shelf unplugged dudes that she's interested in, that she's more attracted to, are generally dating younger women without kids. So that puts women in an interesting predicament. So the whole unplugging process for women, it's not what it's cut out to be. And it's not like, you know, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is always going to be greener where you water it and fertilize it and take care of it. That's where it's greener. So this is just the environment that we live in today, guys. I just wanted to kind of read off this email because I do get a lot of messages from guys a lot of the time asking me for feedback, and women too. And I thought, you know, it was an interesting message to kind of share with you guys to get you into the mindset of what goes on at that point. And I do appreciate my entire audience, the men, the women. Here's what I would recommend for all of you guys that are messaging me and sending me DMs and asking me questions. You got 2 options. Monday night, I run a podcast called the Unplugged Alpha. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I most often take call-ins almost on every single show. So if you have a question and you want to chop it up live on my channel, you can do that. If you want a private consult and you're a high net worth individual, pinned in the top comments, there's links to book me for coaching, and, you know, we can schedule something in and chop it up privately. Everything is kept confidential there. Give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Again, check out those top pinned comments, and yeah, marinate on that a little bit, you know, guys and gals, when it comes to the whole unplugging process with women. It's not what you think it is. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.